Hello and welcome to the Keiwear Show, where we talk about life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. I am your host, Keisha Mayo, and I tell you, we have a special show for you on today. We have the hilarious, funny lady, the comedian all the way from the Bronx, New York, Marcy Smiles. I tell you, she's going to have us cracking up in here today. I'm so excited that she's here. Well, Marcy, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate you accepting my invitation.
Oh my goodness. Listen, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here with you on your show.
Please tell my audience and my viewers about yourself.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, listen, Keisha, thank you for having me. Congratulations on your show. Much success, sis.
Thank you.
But yes, you know what? Everybody talks about mental health, and I'm gonna tell you right now, honestly, I've used comedy to combat things, tragedies and things in my life before I even knew that it was actually my source to help with my mental health.
Right.
Did I know that I was gonna turn it into profession? Honestly, I didn't. I just always tried to find laughter in sadness or grief just to get me out of that dark space. So it worked for me. That's how, a lot of people say, well, Dad, you don't seem like you got stress. No, I have stress and worry and headaches just like everybody else, but it's that I deal with it differently.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you find yourself have always been, funny? I mean, even coming up and growing up, was you like the class clown? Did everybody look for you to have the jokes? How was your upbringing?
Oh yeah, my mom had to come to school many a days because I was in the principal's office, and either I got detention because I did something in class, I talked too much, or whatever the case may be. But I was always the class clown, always. Always.
Right. And you know what's funny? How we say it's a small world. We both worked in corrections together. And
Yes.
I never forget my big sister Lynn was telling me, my friend Marcy worked there. And,
Yes.
and we never crossed paths because there's so many buildings,
Yes.
and then I think I did an event in one of the jails, and that's how we connected. And I was like, wait, I remember my sister mentioning that name.
Yes.
And just to know that here we working together as officers, and you actually used to play basketball with my sister. It's a small world.
A very small world. So yes, we used to play high school basketball with each other. We didn't go to high school together, but they had summer leagues like throughout the city, like Riverside Church, Millbank in Harlem. So that's what we did in the summer. That's how I kept out of trouble. I was always on somebody's basketball court in the summertime. So that helped me to just, not only get disciplined young, but it helped me to stay off the streets and stay out of trouble and, doing the negative things. So yes, that's when I met your sister, Lynn. And she had, oh man, she was a god. When I tell you she had that wicked crossover spit, oh, she was something. She was something back then.
She was a high school superstar, man.
Yeah. So and again, I was, not to toot my own horn, but yes, I was a high school all-star. I was the New York Daily News athlete of the week. I was awarded the Pegasus Award in 1989, and what the Pegasus Award is the student athlete of the whole city.
Wow, that's awesome. But let me ask you this, Marcy. Now you don't went from corrections to being a comedian. How did you come up with your name? Because I know your government is different from Marcy Smiles. So how did you come up with your name?
Yes. Okay. So my government name is Marcy Cornegay. Okay. So when I first started comedy, that's what I would give the person. They would say, you have to sign your name on the list. So I would sign my name on a sheet to go up for open mic. Now they butchered my name so much. They said, Marcy, Keisha, Cordy Hall. I mean, it was ridiculous. Like, and they said, how did you pronounce it? So I would tell them how to pronounce it. But by the time they announced it, they forgot. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to keep going through this throughout my career. I have to pick something simple.
Right.
So I said, so I thought about it one day. I said, well, what would I want to replace my last name with? I'm going to keep my first name. That's for sure. But so I said, you know what? I wanted something simple and it had to be one syllable, but it also had to be reflective of me. So I said, you know what? What is it that you've done all your life? What is it that you've done at every family event? I'm the one who organizes the activities. They get me to do all the activities and all the games with the kids. I'm the jokester of the family. I jokester with my friends. What is it that you always do? You make people smile.
Right.
So I said, you know what? It was either between Marcy laughs, because I also make people laugh. So Marcy laughs or Marcy smiles. So I ran it past my sister, and she like smiles better than laughs. So I said, you know what? That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, because it's catchy. It's very catchy.
and it's simple. Listen, nobody. If you mess that up, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with you.
Exactly. Now I know, coming from corrections, that's kind of a tough job. We had days, like you said, it wasn't always good days. It was, some rough days. Did you find that comedy, and just being a comedian, just doing your little acts and stuff like that, did you find that comedy helped you make it through your career?
It most certainly did. Okay, so again, first of all, people don't understand that when you are a correction officer, you're basically confined too. You're confined in this facility, in the jail with the inmates, for whatever, 8 hours. If you get stuck for overtime for 16 hours, it's not like a regular job in a building where you can go out to lunch and sit on a park bench and eat your lunch for an hour. No, it's nothing like that. So once you're in, you're in. So listen, jail is not a good place for the inmates, the workers there. It's just not, it's not a good and healthy environment. So yes, to keep my sanity, I would be in the housing area. First of all, be just me, a female with 50 men. Just me and 50 men.
Yeah, 50.
So 50 men. So how I got through my 20-year career is that not only do you, first of all, you just have to treat people like human beings. It doesn't matter, what they're in there for. My whole thing was, I'm not judging. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to chastise you. I'm just here to treat you as a human being. And if you need help, I'm going to try to get you that help. Whether it was to go to the law library, whatever it was that you needed within, obviously, the law, because you will have some people try to ask you to break the law. I ain't breaking no law.
I ain't breaking no law either.
No, I ain't breaking no law. So
I want to stay on the right side of the fence.
Exactly. So I will help you within the law. You understand? So don't ask me to bring you no contraband, because I don't get down like that. But if you want, help with getting a book or magazine or getting in touch with your attorney, all those types of things, and the guys know that. Guys knew that I was there to help them. So the one thing that I will say that helped me in my career is treating them like you would want to be treated, listening to them, trying to help them, and them seeing that you just the authentic person. And I used to joke around with them. That's what would make my day go quick. Like they would snap on each other, and I would get in on it.
So do you find yourself, coming from correction and using them as your audience? Do you find yourself now, doing skits based off of things you have seen in corrections? Do you do skits based off of that?
You know what? That's the one topic I haven't touched yet. And I haven't touched it yet because it's very delicate and sensitive to me. Because to me, it's a fine line between what's funny and what's not funny. And again, you being a correction officer, you know that a lot of things that we've seen and experienced is not funny.
Right.
So the funny thing about it is that's one topic I have not delved in terms of writing yet. It's going to take me time because again, it wasn't a fun place to work.
No,
we just had to make it as best as we could with the tools that we had. You understand what I'm saying? And obviously with 50 men and me being a female, my mouthpiece got me out of a lot of stuff. Got me, you know what I'm saying? Got a lot of guys to not fight. Got a lot of guys to go. You have to talk. You can't be like a silent person to be a correctional. That's not gonna work.
Right. I remember my first day when I walked in and them doors closed, and growing up in the project, but being a little sheltered, being the youngest and all of that. when that door closed, I'll never forget her. Inmate had came up to me and said something. And I was like, man, get out of here. And I was like, wait, where that came from? But yeah, you got to turn into a whole new person because they'll walk all over you. You know, they'll mess you up. But anyway,
And
you
the
know,
thing,
that was a, you know, something that we went through. And thank God that we made it out. And we made it out in our right minds. We made it out, you know, in good health, you know, so that's something to be grateful about.
yes.
So, but I want to ask you though, so how do you come up with your material? You know, the material that you do have, how do you come up with it?
So a lot of my material is based on me, based on, you know, myself. And I basically just spin that material and just try to make it, because my thing is life, you realize like, even though you may be going through something, somebody else can have the same issue. So I'm going to use an example, right? So I have a mustache, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a taboo. Like women are not supposed to have mustaches or whatever the case may be. It's unappealing. It's unbeautiful, whatever. But I'm spinning that narrative. At the end of the day, a woman can have a mustache and still be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I actually use that in one of my jokes, and that's actually one of my opening jokes. I crack the audience open usually with that one. So I tell them, you know, that I went out with my girlfriends and the guy asked me to dance, but he said, you know, he asked me if I was a man.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, no, I'm not a man. So I asked him why. He think I was a man. So he said, oh, you know, it's because of that mustache.
Oh, please.
So I tell him, I said, well, listen, you know, it's okay. I come from a line of hairy women. We're all, you know, hairy. I said, but the one thing, my sister, she had a mustache. I'm not going to follow her. She made a mistake. So he said, well, what happened? I said, well, she had a mustache and she waxed her mustache.
Mm-hmm.
And when it grew back, she looked like Steve Harvey. I ain't trying to mess around.
Now that's funny.
I ain't messing around.
You know, but this is good because this is a season where, you know, we do need to laugh going through this pandemic. You know, we need more people like you that bring joy and laughter, you know, to the world. Because I tell you, some of the videos you put up, I just be cracking up, girl. You have me laughing, especially the one when you said that the your trainer told you to carry steps wherever you go or take steps wherever you go. You know, you know, even the Bible says laughter is like medicine, you know, so it's good to laugh and just be, you know, joyful because we go through enough. But I want to ask you, how did you get into you? I know you do your skits, but now how did you get into doing stand-up comedy and what gave you that confidence, you know, to step up and do that?
Okay, so a lot of people may not know that I actually started doing comedy skits, and I was doing skits while I still was working. And basically what I did was I just needed another outlet. I needed to just express myself. So I created all these different characters, like a grandma, a bad little girl named Brescia. I was a man. I was everything. I created all these different characters. I started doing skits in 2017. So basically how I've evolved to doing stand-up comedy is once I retired, I had the time now. So I was like, you know what? I want to explore this stage life. I want to explore if this is something that I can do. Because I'm not going to lie, I had doubts. I didn't know if it's something that I can do. So I went to open mic. I read up on it. You know, how do you even get started with if you wanted to, you know, do comedy? And they, you know, they said go to open mics, go to your local open mic. So my first open mic that I went to was Brooklyn House of Comedy in Brooklyn. And I remember I called my girlfriend, Deborah Washington, and I was telling her, I said, listen, they have the open mic on Monday, but I'm nervous. I said, you know, so she said, don't worry, I'm coming with you. I said, and before I can even ask, she said, don't worry, I'm coming with you. She said, because you belong. You know, I'm going to say this. You need to have a friend or a family member or somebody in your corner that is going to believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself.
Right.
Because again, I had doubts, and she was saying, listen, you belong on that stage because we work together. So she knew I crack jokes all the time.
Right.
So she said, don't worry, I'm going to go with you to the open mic. We went to the open mic. I was so nervous. I got on the stage. They mispronounced my name, but that's okay. I got on the stage and, I said some joke that I had wrote down. It was horrible. I'm not even going to lie. My first time was horrible, but the fact that I got on the stage, I actually liked this. I said, you know what? Now I have to go and do the work because I see that you have to be prepared. You can't just get on stage and it's just going to turn on. It don't work. It don't work like that. So I watched the other comedians. I saw that they actually wrote jokes and had material. So I said, okay, now I have homework to do.
Right. And that's what I was going to ask you. Have you ever bombed on stage? And at that moment, what did you do?
Listen, first of all, that first open mic, it was bad. But after that, even after having done it and having experience, of course, I think every comedian has bombed on stage. I've written jokes, and they just didn't hit. You heard silence like crickets. So you know what? All you can do is finish it and get off that stage. That's it.
But Marcy, what are some of the venues you've been to? Because I know you've been doing a lot of stand-up. What are some of the venues you've been at?
Oh man, so just in the city, Greenwich Village Comedy Club, Broadway Comedy Club, New York Comedy Club, The Stand. I've been in Harlem at Harlem Comedy in Harlem. I've been at Eastville Comedy Club. I mean, it's a lot, and I've just traveled. I did Uptown Comedy Club in Atlanta,
nice.
And then I went to California. I was accepted into the Burbank Comedy Festival in California, and I did that over the summer. So I'm just trying to spread my wings. Again, these festivals and stuff is like a competition. You have to submit like a 5-minute tape, then see if they accept you. And then if they accept you, then you go and compete against other comedians around the world. So, I mean, wow. Yeah. So now I'm waiting to see if I'm going to get accepted into the 2023 Black Women in Comedy Fest. I was accepted last year. So I'm just being prayerful that hopefully I'll be accepted again this year.
Well, I'm going to be prayerful with you because, I mean, you've been putting in the work. You've been doing a lot of work, so you deserve it. So I'm happy for you, and I'm proud of you, and I'm just so grateful for you. And just to know, our circles cross through my sister. I mean, it's just been a blessing. But who are some of the comedians that you look up to, or who makes you laugh? Who do you love to watch?
Okay, so first of all, off the top, Whoopi Goldberg. That was when I saw her one-woman show. I was really amazed by her one-woman show. When I tell you, it was funny. It was thought-provoking. She was jabbing, throwing things out there in terms of politics, but it was funny. It was clever. It was amazing. But I honestly think my style of comedy is more like a Tiffany Haddish. And I say that because not only does she tell jokes, you'll see her dancing, and you never know what she'll do on stage. And I feel like that's me. Like I got a lot of energy. Right. So you don't know if I'm going to dance. You don't know what I'm going to do on stage.
Right. Well, I'm hoping as you post your videos, I hope you tagging these people, because all it takes is that one person to see it and believe in you. And I mean, you on your way. And I believe it's going to happen for you anyway, because you're doing the work. It don't happen for people that just sit and do nothing. You actually doing the work. So I'm believing with you. But, besides Tiffany Haddish, I mean, who are, some other comedians that you would love to share the stage with?
Oh, wow. So I would love to share the stage with everybody. But, okay, so let me just try to see. For a female, I would say I would love to share the stage. I would love to share the stage with Crazy Monique. I ain't even gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
Baby, come here. I would love to share the stage with Monique, because I think she just hyped, and she got that crazy energy, and I got that crazy energy too. You understand? Yeah. So I think we would have fun on stage.
Right.
As far as a male, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I got to give it. I would love to be on stage with Cat Williams, because you just never know
what's going to come out of his mouth.
You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, listen, it would just be fun from beginning to end. I'm not even gonna lie, because I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes and again, everybody's style of comedy is different, and I love it all. But sometimes I just want to laugh. I don't want to think about,
Right.
I don't want to have to think about, and I don't want to get too heavy.
Right.
That's just me personally. I don't, again, everybody has their own style, and that's fine. But
Right.
sometimes I just want to. Comedy is my release. Like, it's enough. I got enough heaviness on me. It's enough heaviness in the world. So comedy is my release. I just want to have fun. I want the people watching me to have fun and to leave with a good time. And that's what I'm all about.
Right, Marcy, like the crackhead joke.
Ma, I got a question. If I scratch the crack of my butt and touch my head, does that make me a crackhead? No, Brescia, that don't make you a crackhead, baby. It just make you nasty.
Marcy, I tell you, I watch your skits and I just be cracking up. I mean, they just so hilarious.
Now that's Brescia. That's the character I created, Brescia. And the one thing I say when I come up with stuff like that, and I say, I'm just, one thing about me, I think I'm just a kid that never really grew up. I just feel like, what is the stupidest thing that somebody can think? And I turn it into a joke. Like, and that's Brescia. That's who Brescia is. Brescia asks questions that are out of this world.
So, Marcy, do you think your purpose in life is to make people laugh?
Wow, good question. Good question. You know what? I think the purpose, my purpose on this life is to yes, bring joy and bring laughter. It can be for 5 minutes, it can be for 10 minutes. But yes, once a person sees me, they forgot about whatever they problems was just for them few minutes, or watching one of my videos just for that minute. They forgot what their issues was, and they come to my page for laughter, and they know, because they know they're gonna get that. They don't come to my page for drama or somebody beating somebody up. They say, you know what? I just need to laugh. Let me find Marcy. Let me go to Marcy Smiles page. They're gonna go on my page. They're gonna be like, oh Lord, what she did now.
Now listen, the skit you did with the truck. Now you really got on the floor in the gas station. Marcy, you are a clown.
I really am.
Listen, I said that name fits, right? Marcy Smiles, because you just put a smile on everybody's face.
Now let me tell you something. Now the funny thing is, I said I was gonna get on the floor. Yes, I really was on the floor, girl. Now the guy pulled in because it was a gas station, so he pulled in. So he got out his truck as if to help me up, because he didn't see my tripod with the camera. So I waved him off. I'm like, no, I'm good, sir. I'm good, sir. So he was like, okay. But I was like, that was nice. It's let you know there's still nice people. He was going to help me up off the floor.
Well, Marcy, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh, man. Well, I will hope 5 years from now, you will see my name in lights at the Apollo. Or you will see my name in lights, somewhere, as like a opening act. I would love that. I would love that. I would love to be a headliner somewhere, maybe, and guess what? And even if not a headliner, maybe I could open for one of the headliners. That would be awesome too. Maybe I could open for some of the greats, like a Sherry Shepherd, or open for Monique. I could be Monique's opening act. That would be wonderful. Because again, I don't always have to be at the top. I like baby steps. I'm good with that.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, Marcy. Do you have any last remarks that you would like to say? And please tell my viewers, how they can follow you. Where can they find you on social media? I know you're all over, but let them know where they can find you.
Okay, so on Instagram, you can look up Marcy, Marcy Smiles, Smiles, and then you're gonna see AKA Good and Plenty. So that's on Instagram. On Facebook, my name is Marcy. Last name Cornegay, which people again be messing up. And that's KORNEGAY. Oh, and on TikTok, I'm Laugh With Me 602. And a lot of people don't know until they come to my shows. The 602 is for 6'2" because I'm 6'2" in height.
Got you. Well, thank you so much, Marcy, for coming on the show. I really had a good time. I enjoyed you. I'm sure my viewers enjoyed you. And do you have any upcoming shows where they can come and, see you live? Anything coming up now?
Oh man, and again, God is good. Listen, I have shows. I booked shows already in February. So the one thing I would say, please follow me on Instagram. I post all of my shows on my page. I'll be in Long Island Wednesday. I have a show in Manhattan at the end of the month. I'll be at Greenwich Village Comedy Club for Friday night and Saturday night, the end of the month. But the best way to find out, post my shows is on Instagram.
Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Please join us next time for another episode of the Keiwear Show. You can follow me on all social media platforms and on the internet. And remember, Keiwear is the key to knowledge. God bless you, and I love you all.
Before I even start with the jokes, listen, we got Murray Bertram High School.